What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a super late edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. These NBC games might actually kill me this year. I know there's a lot of you out on the East Coast that have it way worse. It is 1:45 a.m. out on the East Coast. It's 10:45 out on the West Coast. And boy, oh boy, a lot of basketball that we ended up witnessing. Just 6 games today, but again, it goes throughout the entire evening. And well, I wasn't going to stop, and the game just got over. So now I'm recording. That's wild. But 4 plays for you. Hopefully that makes up for it. And obviously on the video, wasn't great to get one Joel Embiid scratched out of the middle of nowhere because, well, why wouldn't they tell us that he has... We should just assume he has a knee problem all the time at this point in time. But obviously Brooklyn just had a diabolical fourth quarter, could not figure out how to live their lives at the very end of that at home. That was pretty pathetic. It's funny watching like the t-shirt cannon on NBA.com when you're watching League Pass, and it's just like, hey, who wants a t-shirt? As they went on like a 13-0 run there in the midway through the fourth quarter. Whatever. It is here or there. Brooklyn, they completely sucked. And yeah, at the very end of that one, Cameron Johnson just couldn't make threes, only shot 3 of them, and then played 22 minutes. That's a little concerning with Bruce Brown, other guys mixing in. So we're going to keep apprised of that because, well, I feel like I've given you more good information than bad, but I'm not going to be 100%, that's for sure. But Isaiah Jackson carries the day. If you were at Tails, which again, tails.bet/Lindy, you took advantage and you saw plus 720. It actually went up after he was announced as not starting, but ended up rolling with it. Had a lot of people asking me, Eric, what do we do now that Tony Bradley's starting? Well, Tony Bradley sucks. And Isaiah Jackson has that dog in him. He had 10 and 9 at the lower part of the third quarter, and we had to sweat his entire 6-minute rotation to end the game. They were getting blown out by Utah because, of course, we expect that. He cashes. He cashes the double-double. So we go Cade Cunningham triple-double on Monday. Isaiah Jackson double-double, plus 720 there. Is when I played it. You could have played it a little bit higher there, north of plus 750 once he was announced as not starting, and I felt like he was going to play the same minutes. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable how good we've ran the last 2 days with that. But we ran unbelievably good in the NFL 2 weeks ago, and it was week 9. And then week 10, it was pretty flat, but we swept NBA, so that was okay. Overall, friends, the Premium Discord has been an awesome place, and it's not just myself. We got B Grebs in there doing great NHL work. We got J Metal K, who I now got hooked up over at Tails because he's a really sharp people in the Pick'em streets. And then John the Bettist, absolutely love that guy too. Pete Shepard. I mean, I'm so happy with the crew and the people that we're bringing in who not only are happy to give you their takes, but make you welcome in the Lindy community, the Lindy Discord. I'm so proud of these guys and how fun they are to be around. And like, I'm in there just talking mad shit daily, but we don't really have a lot of time to dilly-dally, even though I know I'm saying that completely right now, and I am quite literally dilly-dallying right now. So why don't we get ourselves to some plays? But I kept this active for another day. Promo code SWEEP12. They told me, hey, Eric, you got to get rid of that. It's been a week. Oh, well, I don't care. Promo code SWEEP12. You get one more day to be able to jump in. $12 to join the Discord. That's good stuff, but it's going to go away tomorrow. So take advantage. Let's get ourselves there also. NBA Lindy's Live. Might be bringing that later on this week. We'll see how things go. We'll see how the cookie crumbles. But let's get ourselves to some plays, shall we? Whew, Isaiah Jackson, you are for real. Make me so, so happy. You know who's also made me happy this year? Ryan Rollins. You know who hasn't? Well, overall, we're 3-1 betting it now. Cole Anthony, I've been betting his assists, his over 4.5 assists like nonstop. It ran into a head when he only played 17 minutes in a competitive spot. Now, this one grades out to be less competitive, taking on the Charlotte Hornets, as you might expect, but I still want you being a little trepidatious there because when a guy has minutes downside just from a normal rotation, and Ryan Rollins is playing as much as he is, I'm going to pump the brakes on the Cole Anthony thing. It's price and probability at the end of the day, and, well, we have exchanges. We have lots of ways of being able to make money, no matter what state you're in, no matter what you're doing. And Ryan Rollins, he's been more of the equation here. And, well, we've ridden that one up to the top, started from the bottom, now we're here. Just want you pumping the brakes on the Cole Anthony side of things if you're in the Discord. Because, again, it's nice to be able to make money on the guy. But plus 140, I fell for the bait. He got 3 assists in 17 minutes, but did not have anything close to 5 assists in that game. Had a couple of potentials that went by the wayside, but they were just deep threes. You can't expect all of those to go in, that's for sure. We got, LaMelo Ball going to be out for this one. I unfortunately have some interest in some absolute cave dwellers in Zion James. I think we have some Trey Mann in our lives again as well. Trey Mann's actually good. This James fellow, Zion James, have you watched Charlotte? I've watched an uncomfortable amount of Charlotte basketball. That guy is not an NBA player. Chicago taking on the Detroit Pistons. Got to tell you about this one. Josh Giddey questionable, Cade Cunningham questionable. So one side questionable. Giddey ended up sitting out the last one, and Cade Cunningham just got done goating a better than plus 1,500 triple-double that we bet on Monday. He got announced later on in the day, later on Tuesday, that he's questionable, probably from putting the team on his back, though. Oh, yeah. Fuck you, Gumby. Some people know what I'm talking about. Others don't. That's fine. Chicago, if Josh Giddey plays here, I do think you obviously have to be looking their direction a little bit. He's far surpassed all expectations that I've had for him in a Bulls uniform. It's been a win-win. Alex Caruso, very important to OKC, especially come playoff time. Josh Giddey, very important to like the complexion of what Chicago can be as they go into the future. But Cade Cunningham, questionable. It's a left hip contusion. That's what it's listed on the NBA injury report, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, NBA injury report. Prenuptial agreement. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Such a good movie. But anyway, Chicago money line. They're plus money at the moment. Haven't pulled the trigger. Orlando plus 4.5. I'm going to speed this up a little bit purely because there's not a lot to talk about in these two games at the bottom. John Morant, I guess we have a little bit because they're on a back-to-back, but that's kind of the theme of this day. The Knicks, they're on a back-to-back as well. They just got done torching that Memphis Grizzly team that's on the right side of your screen. And now they're taking on Orlando, hosting Orlando SeaWorld and it. I see why some people don't want me to sing. I totally get it. Don't make me sing. Don't make me sing. But Jalen Brunson here. It's kind of weird to get this game starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time at Madison Square Garden. Aren't those always at 7:30 or like today it was at 8? What are we doing? 7 p.m. Eastern time in Madison Square Garden. Okay, whatever. Mitchell Robinson will be playing in this one, so don't fall for the Karl Anthony Towns over 11.5 or 10.5 rebounds gimmick. Mitchell Robinson will be sharing the floor as opposed to Landry Shamet. That's very, very different. Shamet, damn it, I love you. But we got Jalen Suggs. Baby, I'm Jalen Suggs. I don't know. Back in our lives, I almost pulled the trigger on Orlando plus 4.5, but I think we might get 5. We might get 5. As for Morant, what the hell, bro? You suck. What are you doing? I was watching that game and just I was baffled. He ended up putting up a double-double from assists, but offensively, he is just not engaged and throwing stupid passes. I think he had 7 turnovers in the first half. Oh, it was so tilting, and I had a lot of him in DFS, but obviously that's different from betting. But Morant, under 33.5 PRA. Wouldn't even be surprised if we get a surprise rest candidate. As for Boston, they ended up losing to Philly. The Hers. Edgecombe, he cashed over 1.5 threes. We also cashed over 2.5 threes from Jalen Brunson. The three-point market has been printing for me to start off this season, that's for sure. But rounding it out here in the Lindy's Leans category, again, we have 4 likes. That means 8 leans, but there were 2 plays that I almost fired. I talked about Orlando. I almost fired Houston minus 16, but then I realized, do I really want to fire Houston minus 16 when we have 6 months of basketball? I'm not sure how bad Washington is, but early indications are horrendous. And this number's already moving to 16.5, 17 at some books. I think people might have felt the same way that I did, where it's oh man, I can't believe the EPM, which is off of dunks and threes, combining that with some of my individual player rankings, Raptor, EPM, PNB stats as well. So many different spots where you can aggregate projections, but there are no winning basketball players on Washington besides potentially Trey Johnson, who's young, Alexander Sarr, who's very, very young, sophomore year, been playing pretty good ball, but where else are we going here? What have we done? Why is Chris Middleton bad? CJ McCollum, I get it. Gone scorched earth, knocked down shots, and yet still can't play defense, so that's a problem. I do have a CJ McCollum story for another day, but Houston minus 16, just going to be a lean for me at the moment. I did not pull the trigger. So those are two spreads that stayed off. We got a spread coming. Don't you worry. Devin Vassell, he was a part of some pick'em in my life. He already fired up on a pick'em card that I threw into the premium Discord, but from a betting perspective, I want to emphasize this because I feel like I don't do enough of a job of doing this for the pick'em people. This is not something you should be betting. And this is kind of the inverse of what normally is the problem is people add stuff to pick them that it's like, yo, this is an even money bet that I'm calculating out at minus 120, but you need a pick them where it's 3-pick minus 122.38. That's the baseline number that we're looking for. That's what each leg needs to be just for break even. 122.38 minus 122.38. Devin Vassell, I've got this one like far north of it, but like it's still pretty thin from a betting perspective when it's minus 120 to minus 130. You're talking a 10-cent gap. And yeah, you could say the EV, oh, it's gigantic EV. Not really, because it's basically existent at one book right now, FanDuel, where they got some of the props open early. Devin Vassell also, I assume that he starts, but there's a chance that they want to ease him back in after being sick, rumbly in his tumbly, all of that other good stuff. It was a migraine that he had, so serious issue there. I'm not sure what to do with Devin Vassell outside of play him and pick him and then figure out from a betting perspective if something needs to happen based on him being in or out of the starting lineup. But when that can extend and pick him, the other two legs can carry the day for the other leg. And that's something that I want to emphasize as well. When you have two legs that are very positive EV, you could attach something that's just flat to it. And the parlay, which is in essence what a pick'em card is, it's going to still be positive EV based on the first two legs. So kind of want to take a look at this one a little bit more tomorrow. Hopefully that made sense because my brain is way off right now. I've had a lot of coffee. Atlanta money line here going up against Sacramento. Not a ton to talk about here overall because we're just waiting on injury news. Nickeil Alexander-Walker questionable. It's huge because you end up getting a ton of minutes for Keaton Wallace, who started alongside Dyson Daniels again, and Keaton Wallace is kind of good for what it's worth. Atlanta money line, they're intriguing. Sacramento, they are down in the doldrums. What the hell have they done? Why did they take Chicago circa 2023 and put it in a Chicago Sacramento uniform? Like in wine country? What are we doing? But Denver taking on the Clippers. This is another trappy spot, I think, for a team in Denver. They're 8-point favorites against James Harden, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., John Collins, who's been inserted into the starting lineup. Ty Lue said they're going to keep rolling with that, and they lost a close one to Atlanta. And Ivica Zubac, who's probably the most suited for this. Now, Zubac and Jokic, if you've ever watched it, they're very respectful of each other, but they go to war in the blocks. It is so fun to watch. One of my favorite matchups in the NBA. Kind of quiet down on the DL there. Zubac versus Jokic. It's so damn fun. So get your popcorn ready. Put a big tub of that with some butter on it. Sprinkle some salt and Salt Bay this shit. But Cameron Johnson, 22 minutes, didn't close, even in like a 12-point. It was like one of those where it wasn't like competitive, but it also wasn't a blowout. Weird stuff. But yeah, Denver didn't have to push Cameron Johnson. Is what it is. But you're not going to get them all right. That's for sure. We gotten a lot more right overall, and that's promo code SWEEP12. You can take advantage of that, but we talked about that already. Be like Lindy, join Tails today. We'd love for you guys to check out Tails. You can download the app at the App Store, the Google Play Store, if you're an Android user. So many great opportunities for you to get some free bets and some VIP bets from some very sharp people. So download the Tails app. We got so many people hooked up over there, and I'm so excited about the community that we're building, the website that we're building, the app that we have built over at Tails. So check it all out, and let's get to some play, shall we? Oop, wrong click. There we go. We got Cleveland taking on Miami. Who's producing this shit anyway? We got Cleveland taking on Miami, and you might have noticed, Eric, there were a lot of PRAs that you threw out there, and well, we have Lindy's long shots, and that's where I threw the absolute madness the last 2 days. Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Jackson, woo! It's really good stuff. But Cleveland taking on Miami. My friends, everybody needs to be part of the Cleveland organization because I cannot tell you enough how amazing it must be to be playing basketball for Cleveland when they decide that they are going to rest everybody. You know what? Hey, we're going to be in Miami for 4 days. We had a last second lob, 0.4 seconds. Andrew Wiggins puts up a bucket on a lob from Nikola Jovic, an incredible inbounds pass for what it's worth. And they decided, you know what? We are absolutely going to let it rock, let it roll. We're going to let it roll, let it rock. And we're going to give them 2 days in Miami before we play on Thursday against Toronto back in Cleveland. Oh, yeah. You best believe this is what's going on as of recording this right now with Evan Mobley and with Mr. Darius Garland. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Why is this not playing the thing that I had planned? Here it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got some stuff going. Oh, wait. This is festival. There we go. This is what we really want. We want those lights moving and grooving. Moving to the music. My friends, no Darius Garland. No Evan Mobley for rest. No Donovan Mitchell playing basketball in Miami. This went from plus 5.5 on the Miami side to minus 6.5 on the Miami side. And you know what? Fuck it. We'll do it live. Jared Allen might be playing basketball here. It doesn't matter whatsoever, but y'all need to play basketball for an organization that takes you to Miami for 4 days and gives you 2 days off. They worked 1 day. 1 day. Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley are knee deep in some shit right now. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it looks like. I want to be appropriate. But Sam Merrill's not. Sam Merrill is in his hotel room, going to bed early, not doing jack diddly squat. And Sam Merrill is ready to rock tomorrow because he gets an opportunity. Oh, yeah, Jalen Tyson not even active for this one. So a guy who has started at the 2 a lot when Donovan Mitchell was out is also gone. So they're going to run Sam Merrill into the ground. I have been projected for an absurd amount of minutes. My starting 5 for tomorrow: Lonzo Ball, Sam Merrill, DeAndre Hunter, Dean Wade, and Jared Allen. Dean Wade does nothing besides shoot threes and play incredible defense. Those don't put stats up. Sam Merrill will put stats up, 20.5 PRA. But shout out to the GOATs right now. The Cleveland GMs and coaching staff that allowed for Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jalen Tyson to go party on a Tuesday in Miami. It is great to do bottle service wherever they showed up tonight. Game number 2, Portland taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, and I don't have a lot to add besides Saddiq Bey I expect to start. Portland, they are super efficient. Drew Holiday, Shaedon Sharpe, Tamani Kamara, Denny Avdia, Donovan Clingan. But Jeremiah Fears, I'm not very impressed by this guy watching him play basketball, that's for damn sure. But Trey Murphy had a basketball game. Herb Jones, Kevon Looney, I think gets the start as well. But with no Jordan Poole, DeJounte Murray, or Zion Williamson, there are stats available, and Saddiq Bey does enough on a basketball floor. Needs to knock down a couple of threes to get us to this number, but I think he's more than capable. Saddiq Bey, over 21.5 PRA. So both props that I've got for you already fired up. I actually question whether or not that was kind of on the fringe of like pick 'em exclusively, or do I add it to the card? Ended up adding it to the card in the end. Premium Discord already knows that. But Phoenix taking on Dallas in this one. Let's get to some spreads because Eric, you only ever bet props. Well, I'm really good at betting props, so I should probably keep betting props, huh? But overall, had a 4% ROI here betting spreads in the NBA last season, and this year, 7%. So we're doing okay so far. Doing pretty darn good. Brooklyn is going to take that down. I haven't accounted for that yet, so obviously with small sample size, it's probably going to be in like the 5% realm. Probably going to be batting right around where I was in terms of spreads and money lines last year. But in this spot specifically, also, I'm really mad at myself. There were a couple massive plus monies last week I should have bet, but Phoenix taking on Dallas. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. And Wicked, part 2. Because I knew you, I have been changed for good. I get it. I've been singing a lot lately, but I also have a song in my heart. Dallas has a song in their heart, and we just bet against them with Milwaukee. They've been down in the doldrums. But that kid who sat courtside next to the owner might be the hero that Gotham deserved. Not that hero that they needed no, it was the hero that they needed right now as well. Dark Knight, we'll go full blast into it, friends. Dallas, I know it says minus 120 here, but minus 102 I was able to get at the exchanges over at Novig. Go bet that. Dallas money line. Also, Kalshi, I think, was sitting at even money for a second. I saw a 50-50 number at Kalshi. Fire it up. Anything inside of minus 115 is a play for me. Dallas money line. Anthony Davis questionable. I expect him to play in the post-Nico era. It's going to be beautiful times. But also, we got one more play for you. These are flying. We're flying through the likes. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Also, I need to go to bed and watch Pluribus. My wife really wants to watch the Pluribus pilot before we go to bed. And, well, it's 11 p.m., so I should probably get my ass in there. But you know who's going to get their ass to Oklahoma City? The Lakers. 7.5-point dogs they are. But they got themselves Austin Reeves back, and Austin Reeves looked saucy against Charlotte right off the bat. Shouldn't surprise anybody that overall, yeah, they're still waiting on LeBron James, LeBron James with his right side sciatica. It's always a weird word. I put sciatica. But anyway, we got the Lakers here, 7.5-point dogs. You go through and model these games. Oklahoma City just looks ridiculous. They are a ridiculous basketball team. I texted and everybody I know. I was watching that Oklahoma City game tonight. Chet Holmgren looked ridiculous, but you know who's probably not playing basketball here on Wednesday, on Hump Day? Chet Holmgren. Hasn't been playing back-to-backs. He was dinged up coming into this year, and he played very limited minutes in the Clippers to Portland back-to-back, and he still didn't play on the second leg, so I totally expect them to rest him here. They're just completely blitzkrieg popping everybody. Lou Dort, right upper trap. We're still dealing with that injury. Didn't play today. Does he play on Wednesday against the Lakers? I don't think so. So you take Jordan Holmgren off. I believe that just becomes Wallace, but also Aaron Wiggins, I think, is questionable to play. Alex Caruso would be great to have out there, but he's questionable to play as well with injury maintenance. I have no clue what happens on this back-to-back, but you take Chet off the floor, Rui does enough in the old stat categories. I will say also Isaiah Hartenstein, I'm staring down the barrel of a 45. I think his props are interesting. But give me the points. Give me the 7.5 here. Again, same thing I said about Brooklyn. Do I expect them to win? Absolutely not. Oklahoma City is insane. But they're on the back-to-back. The Lakers are not. And this is one of those things that every team is different. You can't just look historically over the last 10 years, 15 years and say, oh, teams on back-to-backs are this and this and this. Who is playing? The players involved matter a ton when doing that type of analysis. It's not like we can't bake it in as a number. It's ridiculous. It's like people who go to roulette wheels and then look at the last 15 numbers and say, oh, it's been red the last 15, I'm going to go to black. Or they see, oh, it's been red for the last 15, I'm just going to play it for red because that's going to obviously hit again. The statistics don't change. The numbers don't change, but you know what does? The players on the floor. And I get Luka Doncic getting 7.5 points here, and the other team on the other side is on a back-to-back. I'm going to do that a lot of the time, my friends. Also, a lot of the time you should be checking out the premium Discord. A lot of the time you should be checking out Tails. Let's get the heck up out of here. And that does it for a Wednesday Hump Day edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. 4 plays, obviously 0-2 on yesterday's video. That has not been the norm over the course of the last month of NBA. Well, we've almost reached the month mark, but it's been an awesome start to the season in the premium Discord. Also, for free over on X and at the Tails app. Cannot tell you how much I love Cade Cunningham and Isaiah Jackson for what they've done for me the last 2 days. That has been awesome times. Make sure you're checking me out over at tails.bet/Lindy, as well as on X at Eric Lindquist, because I can give you updated information. This is night before or super early morning of. That's usually the times I've been recording this. And, well, I don't always have all the props that I want. And obviously there's going to be a lot more that drop tomorrow, plus injury news that we'll be able to react to, that I'll be able to help you out with. And, well, I think it's been pretty darn good. Brunson threes today. That was useful. Edgecombe, who shot the ball terrible from 2 like I talked about, and still found us 2 threes late in that one. Good times were had by all. But let's get out of here. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Wednesday. See you Thursday for NBA and NFL Lindy's Drake May season. Ooh, can't wait. Bye.